Cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers. Happy Friday afternoon to all of you guys. 3:30 p.m. here in San Jose, Costa Rica. 5:30 p.m. in Miami at the Diplomat Beaches. Or we'll be partying very hard. Ski Profit just booked the room. Jam Man coming down from Montreal. We are growing. Trot Wham is coming to Miami now. Walter Trotter will also be in Miami. I'm so excited. I couldn't be more excited. And big news, hot off the press, SBR NFL contest, the Pick Six that starts this year, the inaugural year of the Pick Six contest. $50,000 up for grabs, free to enter. $50,000. The Pick Six, and I will have my own late show dedicated only to the Pick Six every Friday night. Every Friday night, I will pull the Jameson right here that's in my bag. Every Friday night, I will grab my bottle of Jameson that I take with me everywhere, right? Larry knows this. I take with me everywhere. I will pull the Jameson out of my bag, and I will cap every game on the card while I drink with you guys and talk about who is winning the Pick Six contest. And you can't pull out a bottle of Jameson without taking a swig. Thank you, Larry. Happy Friday to me. All right, shout out to all the cappers in the chat. We got Deer Slayer Ski, Alex Ramirez, Flick My Bick. Nut Flush Allen says the only way to end the week is with a nice cold adult beverage while listening to the best show on YouTube and hanging with my low bag family. And Nut Flush Allen, we're going to get to do it in person. Oh man, I can't wait to hang with Nut Flush Allen and his wife Kristen in Miami. It's going to be so much fun. Flick My Bick says sipping a little Johnny Walker neat. What color Johnny Walker, though? Because down here, I can only afford the Roja, which tastes like garbage. But if you drink the blue, or even the black, much respect to you, Flick My Bick. Vinny Cornell, Northside Gambling Channel, Polo this, Polo that. We got Anthony Mastronardi, Jay Scum, Alex Ramirez, Hunter Engelhardt, Jordan Kane, Serious Business, Vegas Lawrence. Not applicable, Carlos Luders, Sergio Rodriguez, Coco Bongo. Pick up six, make up work day. Brandon Lugo, Tomarino Tomor. Are you serious? Antonio Brown arrived in training camp in a hot air balloon. Come on. Mr. Fat Fist in the house. Let me tell you a little bit about my show today. Big show. In 20 minutes, we're going to be joined by Donnie Rightside. But first, a fight analyst video. Play of the day UFC. So we're going to go the fight analyst video. Then we're going to go Donnie Rightside. Then we're going to go for a video from Mr. Fat Fist. And then Al Mack joining us. Al Mack coming off a 6-5 day on his first day on the show. I have it in front. Up 3.48 units. He hit with a couple big dogs. Won a giant dog in the Battle of LA in MLS. A giant dog. Huge dog, plus like 365 or something like that yesterday. So we have a packed show. So I got to keep moving. Murphy Jr. There's Shadow. There's my guy Shadow in the house. Lil E. Jeff Joseph says, agree, boy, sitting on my Stella while sitting on the balcony with my beautiful wife Camilla and listening to the best. Jeff Joseph and Camilla. Wow. Lovely couple. A couple that caps together, stays together. And Camilla goes with Jeff to every horse track that he rolls into. I love that. Flick My Dick says, Fridays have been brutal this month. You got to show me the way, sir. Saying that to Nut Flush Allen, not to me. Ron Lofton, Nut Flush Allen, Nasty Nate, Polo this, Polo that. What a great group. Oh, and there's Mr. Fatfist says, love my Jameson with pickle juice. Man, when I first came down here, it was only Jameson and pickle. But then I don't know. I got fucking lazy. I don't know. Not applicable. 2 CFL unders last night cashed. I did think of you. Yes, Steve Cordero. Jameson and pickle juice. Absolutely spectacular. Absolutely wonderful. Melvin Batanza says, can you recap your plays as well as Lamont and the Taint? There's a fight analyst ready to go. And Vegas Lawrence giving us the Aviators over in the PCL League again. Aviators over. All right. And not applicable. I'm always cheering for you. Hey, I had one of them. Shadow says, big CFL game tonight. I'm on Winnipeg -1.5 and leaning over 52. Yes, it's going to be quite difficult. Mr. Spectacular says, listening from work. Jimmy, you're only 4 spots up on me on the Big Boss contest. I'm coming. Mr. Spectacular, respect. Flip My Bick says, and you too, Jimmy, if your Fridays have been hot, I can't seem to find a winner to save a life on Fridays. Okay, that was something that was very problematic for me before. I think I fixed it a tiny bit. We shall see. Ricardo Gutierrez ready to go. Alex Ramirez, star of the Spidey Play today, ready to go. But first, I have to tell you guys and get you guys to join us in the Beat the Bag contest. Beat the Bag contest. We have 3 rounds of Saratoga, the spa, baby, the spa. 3 rounds of Saratoga, $1,000 up for grabs. We start this Saturday. Second round is next Saturday, and then the final round is after Miami. But the first 2 Saturdays, now we are hammering. Please join us. It means so much to me. And the more people that I have entering, then the more that I can get, more cash I can get. So here, first off, here is the program. This is a program from NYRA.com. Has the morning lines. Take a look at the program here. Paste that. Take a look at the program. And then make your selections here on the SBR forum link. You just go to the link, you go to reply to thread, and you just simply list the winners. And that's all you have to do. Then you sit back and let the cash come your way. Here we go. There we go. There we go. All right. Yo in the house. Mr. Fatfist said, Red Girl coming to Miami. Red Girl living in Miami. Red Girl is the reason, the sole reason that we picked Miami. Just to party with Red Girl. So yeah, she'll be there. And Mr. Fatfist says, yes, Jameson and Pickle Juice is magic. Yes, we will go to town at the Diplomat Beach Resort. You and me, Fatfist. A jar of pickle juice and a giant bottle of JMO. And we're going to go right to town. Take a one-way ticket. All right. Let's get out to work. Ramon Scott saying, shout out to Vinny in the Big Boss contest. That 17-0 day this week. Incredible. It was absolutely incredible. There's Sean Glass. Okay. Let's get ready to roll and let's move forward. Okay. First, we're just going to recap plays. In 16 minutes, we're going to be joined by Donnie Rightside, and we're going to have a fight analyst video before that. So we're not going to be able to break down each and every individual game. Okay. And we got, sorry, can I see that up a little bit too, Larry? Okay, here we go. These are the plays from the day. We're going to start. Yes, I would love that. I would love that, Larry. Thank you very much. Larry, man, it's a vacation day here. Nobody's in the office, but lucrative Larry here. And I love that. Von Polis has got me a fresh bottle of Jameson juice. Yes, I bet you do. You were up 10 grand from yesterday's UFC and boxing. Shout out to our guy, Von Polo. You want to party with Von Polo? You come to Miami. T says, Jimmy, what up, brother? Taint today. This is one of the... Now, it's not that I don't believe in a taint. I believe in it totally, but I don't want to just blindly tail. So whenever the taint correlates with the play that I'm on, I jump all over it. And today is one of those days I am on the taint play of the day. The taint play of the day is the Cleveland Indians money line. Cleveland Indians money line. And from the words, quote unquote, from Matt Randall, it says, find some taint and celebrate. And that's what I am doing. I'm not only on the taint play today, but I'm also on the over 9.5 in that game. Okay? Over 9.5 in that game. Let's talk about plays and the action from our chat. Then I'm going to go over my plays. And then we're going to touch on a few games that we didn't get enough time to cap. Then Fight Lines video. Then Donnie Rightside. Then Fat Fist video. Then Al Mac. That's how we do. Let's get to work right now. Not applicable says Leisure Suit Larry at the helm. Ron Lofton says props to Larry. And Flip Money says let's get it. Okay, Pink Eyed Genie. Great capper, Arizona Diamondbacks expert, and a man who spreads pink eye awareness to everyone. He's on the Bombers -2 in CFL. The Yankees team total over at 3.5, first 5. That's at even money. He's on the Diamondbacks -1. He's on the Twins -1. I love the Diamondbacks today, but I had to figure out what was the best way to take a favorite without giving out too much juice. I'm on the first 5 -0.5. The best way for me to do it is to use Greinke to my advantage. Really isolate the starting pitch-up matchup between Greinke and Alcantara. And I'm also on the over 4.5 at -105. The team total over 4.5 because I think Alcantara is going to get touched and fondled. Pink Eye Genie's on Bombers -2. Yanks team total over 3.5, first 5. Arizona -1, Twins -1, Indians -1, and Giants +125. That's Pink Eye Genie. All right, let's keep moving. Elio Topset, his buddy, the scout, is looking hard at the Braves' first 5 under. I'm not sure if he jumped on it. Strategic Investments is on both home squads tonight. Ticats and Lions. Both home squads tonight. Ron Crawford's spreadsheet plays Arizona, Atlanta, Cincinnati. Lamont Williams has 2 plays. One is his max bet, one is his second play. His second play is Cincinnati first 5 run line. That was a play that I stayed away from. Nutflush Allen, our San Francisco Giants expert, is on the Giants money line. Lamont Williams' max bet is the Twins money line. And Bobby Digital joining us. Love Bobby Digital. And Red Girl, Winnipeg under 52 and leaning Winnipeg. It's a tricky one. I can't wait to break that game down today. I can't wait to break that down. And Jerry Reyes says, Miami, baby. Jerry Reyes is going to be partying with us. And there's Seth Hagen. Our guy Seth saying, has everyone entered the $50,000 Pick 6 contest? We talked about that off the top of the show and says, got their tickets for Miami and beat the bag Saratoga free money. Love that, Seth. Love that. So Lamont Williams, max bet, Twins money line. Matt Randall, taint play today, Indians. Hunter Engelhardt says, dogs barking tonight, Giants full game money line, Baltimore first half. Brian Riley liking the over in both. Oh, no, there's only one game today in CFL. Liking the over in that football game today. And I'm still kind of stuck on it. Gas Station Sushi, max betting on the Red Sox and the A's. Joe Anisi on the Dodgers run line, Atlanta money line, Tampa Bay money line, Cubs money line, and Minnesota money line. And Red Girl says line has moved to 52. Yeah, it's tough. And Cody AV says, how do you become a pro, SBR pro? Because if you're not, kind of defeats purpose for full prizes. That is true. What you have to do is, if you are an American, you have to donate $100 to a charity, any charity of your choice. That's how you do it if you're an American. But my man Cody's from 604. He's from Fan City. So I need to know what the Canadians... Because I think the Canadians is a little different, but we're going to talk about that. Pink Eye Genie says, love Winnipeg. Don't have a read on the total. All right. Nissan Soulful Guy says, what up, Cody? Good to see you. Yes. And Hunter Engelhardt. We will have a Hunter Engelhardt video. This just in. We will have a Hunter Engelhardt video. I probably should use where I actually have a earpiece. But yes, Hunter Engelhardt is being a late addition to the show. It was my fault. We have nobody back here except for Larry and I. The whole office is on vacation, so it's a holiday here today, so we're a little slow moving, but that's what we got. Okay, so those are the guys. Those are the low baggers plays. These are my plays. Dodgers first 5 -0.5 at -125. Full game -1. That's a money line -155 and a run line of +100. Now, that did not go with our DJ Big Boss, who's on the Nationals first 5 +0.5. Nationals first 5 +0.5. And there's Al Max saying you just have to sign up for one of their books. Pinnacle most reliable. Yes, I would back up anybody who wants to open up a Pinnacle account. I think that's a smart move. Okay. And there's my guy, Cody AV. Man, love this guy. Okay. Braves, Phillies, Soroka area at a very uncomfortable spot for me. I think Soroka is regressing or regressing just back to the mean. You know, he's not the best pitcher in the major leagues at 21 years old out of Canada. So he's just sort of coming back. But Jake Arrieta only going 5 long because of the bone spurs in his elbow. I don't know exactly what to do with that. We will see. We will see if our guy, Donnie Rightside, has a move on his hometown Phillies. And Vipram B says, Jimmy collecting OT money on a holiday. No, man, the bag's cash does not change. I choose to be here. The bag's cash just fucking stays the way it is. It doesn't matter if I'm here on holidays or not. This is my choice. Also, I'm not allowed to go anywhere alone in San Jose, Costa Rica, because I'll get robbed. So being with you guys is where I want to be. All right. And Nutflush Allen says, just a heads up, guys, Angels game will be hot as hell. Rays, Jays, Castillo, Wagaspack. We saw this big move towards the Jays. I'm off of it right now, but we will keep talking about it. Yankees, Red Sox. I did not want to just go back to milking the over, and that is what I had done yesterday. Paxton, not looking good right now, but the Red Sox don't hit lefties with the power that they hit righties. Cashner has terrible numbers as a Red Sox. He has terrible numbers against the Yankees. Everything pointing to the over, yet I was still afraid to do it. Maxwell Smart says I'm leaning towards Hamilton, and I have to admit, Max, I don't know why I wouldn't take both home dogs Friday and Saturday on the money line. I just feel like there's a ton of value there. I wish they were a little bit bigger dogs, to be honest with you, but both in the plus 120 to 140 range, and I'm sort of leaning towards that. I like hearing that Max is leaning towards Hamilton. I mean, the Bombers the Bombers aren't going to start out 14 or 15-0. We just know that doesn't happen in CFL. We have an 18-game schedule. We've seen teams go 13-1, 12-2, and then once they've clinched, play the backups and lose 2 of their last 3 games, still be fine. The CFL Grey Cup this year is in Calgary, and this just seems like, if you looked at their schedule, this would have probably been their loss. We will talk more about that. Pirates, Mets. I was leaning first 5 under. Now that we know Wheeler's not going to be traded, maybe I hammer that. Not applicable says can't see BC winning. BC's not going to be terrible. Ron Crawford, Saskatchewan, big play. All right. Bobby Digital saying it's a square play, Jimmy, but it's also smart about the over. I get it, but I don't have success going right back to the well. And we noticed earlier, and we're going to look at all the line movements, but we noticed on the morning show that everything was at 11.5, yet Pinnacle had moved it down to 11. Why don't we just check it out right now? I know we don't have time to go through each game if we're going to do this, but let's quickly check it out right now. Here we go. What exactly is the market moves here? We're going to go to just the totals. Here we go. Red Sox, Yankees, and it's the same way, but almost all the books. Sorry. Bookmaker down to 11. Bet Online down to 11. Heritage down to 11. What does that tell you? To me, that tells me that sharps are on the under. And I know that there's every reason for you to take the over. But we've talked about it many times. That in NHL, when it looks simple and too good to be true, it is simple. And it is not too good to be true. It's that easy. But in MLB and NBA, it's a mirage. They mess with you. The books dominate in these 2 sports. And it's just not always what you see. We'll talk more about it as we move forward. Cubs, Brewers, I'm on the first 5, under 5. I know a lot of people are backing the Brew Crew today. Not Joe Anisi, he's on the Cubs, but a lot of people are backing the Brew Crew today. And to that, I say that Kyle Hendricks' terrible numbers on the road are not an example of who he is as a pitcher. We just saw Miles Michaelis with a 7 ERA. He goes into Pittsburgh and he pitches well. I do not see Hendricks being this guy who's going to go out on the road and shit the bed. In saying that, Gonzalez has spectacular numbers against the Cubs. Incredible numbers. They have a 157 batting average, 483 OPS against them. And I'm taking the first 5 under 5, and I'm laying off a side at this point. Colby Valentine in the house, a man we do not see enough of, says, and Neil Frank saying Sharps were on the under yesterday as well. Colby Valentine, Cleveland, Atlanta. These are parlays. Cleveland, Atlanta, money line at plus 203. Yankees, Dodgers, plus 176. Milwaukee, St. Louis at plus 290. And Pitt alone at plus 155. Nice to see Kobe in the chat. Thank you for sharing your plays and your hard work with us. Tomino says, Hendricks is much better at home, but Milwaukee's offense isn't consistent. Ron Crawford says, look at the Cubs lineup. We talked about that. On the morning show. I don't even have to look at it. I know that Chris Bryant was unlikely to be in the lineup today because of his knee injury, and that was part of the reason why I was going to take the first 5 under. We don't have enough time to check all those stuff right now, but we will go to all of that. Okay. Cody A.V. says, agreed, Jimmy. The side in Cubs Brewers seems like a stay away. Listen, if you're backing the Brew Crew, I understand it. But if you think Kyle Hendricks is just going to be a shit pitcher on the road and be very good at Wrigley for the rest of the year, I don't believe that. And I think that it's going to come back to the mean in both of those spots. And that's why Michaelis had a nice start there. Remember, we saw Alcantara earlier in the year with like a 9 ERA on the road and a 1 ERA at home. Then he has a very nice start on the road and his home numbers start creeping up. That's just the way numbers and baseball work. Okay, let's move on. Twins, White Sox. I'm interested in the over. I'm also interested in the White Sox. I'm going to need to talk about these spots. Hopefully, Donnie will lead us towards them. Indians, I'm on at minus 120, and I'm on the over 9.5 at minus 105. Plesac is seeing the Royals for a 3rd time. Junis just had the birth of his son, and he has 4-year-old twins. He's going to be tired. We saw this exact same situation happen yesterday in the Oakland A's game. A pitcher who had nice numbers, but he had the birth of a child and got exhausted by the 3rd or 4th inning. Does that correlate? I think it does. I really think it does. Indians, Royals, over 9.5. These bullpens are exhausted after the 14-inning game yesterday. I like the Indians at minus 120 because I do believe that this Royals bullpen, if we take both these bullpens and they're both exhausted, which one would you rather have? And it's the Indians without a doubt. So I doubled up on that game. Astros-Cardinals. This is a game where we saw the Cardinals open as a favorite and then it move over to the Astros. It's a tricky spot. Flaherty at home. Urquidy coming in for the Astros. Cardinals are on a winning streak. But simply put, the Astros are a better team even with Urquidy on the mound. Maybe I make a move on that, but I'm going to take a little bit more time again. I'm going to take a little bit more time. And Ron Crawford saying to Kobe Valentine, good to see spreadsheet matches here: Cleveland, Atlanta, Arizona, Cincinnati. I like hearing that you guys are on the same ship. So now, do we know the pitcher for the Angels? Do we know the pitcher for the Angels? Still undecided. Skip the game. Although I wish I could. Oh, and Wilson Contreras batting leadoff, says Bookie Lover Q. Wilson Contreras back in the lineup after his injury. All right. So, and Ron Crawford leaning Houston. Then we have Rangers A's, a tricky spot. I think Lance Lynn will pitch well in a cooler temperature right now. We know that he's got pizzas for tits, and he's capable of an ass sweat puddle. So when it's a cooler temperatures and he's used to the hot temperatures, I expect Lance Lynn to have a nice game. And then Mengden has been pitching quite well at home. If you put those together, then you have to think that the under is a possibility here. And why wouldn't it be? And why wouldn't the first 5 under be especially? Let's just quickly look at the first 5 under there. 4.5. Oh, but 5 everywhere else and 4.5 at Pinnacle. Why? Because there's not going to be a puddle of ass sweat every time he gets off of the bench. When I look at this, I think Lance Lynn and Mengden are going to have nice starts. Oh, man, I know we're going along here with my breakdown of what the plays are, but I might need to jump on this right now. This under. Oh, we still don't have lineups. Let me see if I can refresh. We still don't have lineups. I feel like a first 5 under is in play here, and that is precisely the reason. I think Lynn throws a beauty here. Finally, not sweating buckets. Mengden's been pitching well at home. Pinnacle's the only book at 4.5, and I understand why. I'm taking it right now. I'm taking the first 5 under 5 at -115. That's available at Bookmaker. Rangers Athletics, first 5 under 5 at -115. Book it. Book it. Okay. And Russell Gordy says, why would Rangers be even money after a win? Crazy. Love that Russell Gordy's joining us. We're going to talk about all these things. Okay, then we have Giants at +131, and a mistake possibly that I didn't bet, but yesterday on the Late Show, I thought I was making a nice move here, taking the over 8 in the Giants-Padres game. There was only 2 8s left. It all gone 8.5. They've gone back to 8. So I didn't bet the over 8, but I'm on it as an official player. I did take the Giants at +131, and I've not yet made a move on Daniel Norris and Yusei Kikuchi because I trust neither of them, but I also don't trust that they're both going to shit the bed for an over. So that is what is going on right now. Now, we have Donnie Rightside ready to jump in. I love having him on these Fridays show, but we have to open with a video from the fight analyst here for his UFC play, and then Donnie and I will hammer this baseball card. Larry, my guy, do we have the fight analyst video ready to rock? We do. Next up, a man who destroys UFC, part of the Low Bag fam. Another guy. We have Donnie up next, so you can party with Miami. Same with the fight analyst. He will be in Miami partying with us, and we are in talks about having a live show with the fight analyst and Mr. Fat Fist here now. Play of the day. UFC Edmonton.
What's going on, everybody? It's the Fight Analyst here. We're coming off a great weekend at UFC San Antonio where we cashed our bets on Alexander Hernandez, and everybody else that follow me, we cashed over 11 units last weekend. It was a fantastic weekend. This weekend, we have a great fight card ahead of us at UFC 240 with the headliners of Max Holloway defending his featherweight championship against Frankie Edgar, which looks to be a sensational fight. But with this fight card, we're looking to cash our bets on one of the women's on this fight card, and that's going to be Sarah Froda taking on Jillian Robertson. We're going to look to cash our bets on Sarah Froda at +105. You can get that courtesy of 5 dimes in this fight. It's a classic striker versus grappler. Froda actually has good jiu-jitsu background as well, so she's not really just a striker, but her aggression on the feet, and it looks like her good background is definitely in her striking. That's her forte. And with Robertson, majority of her wins have been by submission. 5 of her 6 wins have been by submission. And majority of the time that when she does get a submission, she loses. Only one of her fights have gone to a decision, and she got a win via decision. But We're looking to take Froda here. She should be able to light Robertson up on the feet. She's huge for the weight class. She has a 69-inch reach at 125 pounds, which is kind of unheard of. She has a 6-inch reach advantage. She's going to be able to stay at range and just land a flurry of shots. And maybe really take out Robertson here. I don't think Robertson's a threat to really get this fight to the mat because she's very undersized against Froda here. Froda should be able to defend the takedowns well. I mean, I know Froda got taken down 4 times against Livia Souza, which is actually only a 115-pound fighter, but I think Souza's a much better wrestler and much better offensive grappler than Robertson. Robertson isn't known for her wrestling, her chain wrestling, to really get the fight to the mat. If she gets the fight to the mat, she's gonna have to pull guard. She's gonna have to take a limb and drag her down there. Froda it's going to be way too strong, and I think the aggression and the forward pressure is really going to break Robertson in this fight. And we're getting some really good odds here at plus 105. This fight has the line has moved a bunch. It's really going to settle between a pick'em. Froda can probably be a favorite by fight time, but if you cash the bets in now, we can get some good money on her at plus 105. That's what I have for you guys this weekend. If you guys need any advice, you guys can always hit me up on Twitter at Fight Analysts with an S. That's at Fight Analysts with an S. Let's get this money this weekend, guys. You guys have a good one.
There we go. The Fight Analyst play of the day. Just for you guys, a little backstory. He's actually getting blown while he was giving that play of the day. So very impressive stuff from the Fight Analyst. And A. Hilly, just before we bring in Donnie Rightside, A. Hilly saying, I'm going to Canterbury Park tonight. What's your strategy for horses? It's impossible to tell you it quickly, but at a track like Canterbury, go to the paddock. Spend your time at the paddock. Any maiden race. Just look for the horse don't even look at the odds. Look for a muscular horse that's comfortable. If a horse is sweating too much because it's a hot day out there, stay away from him. Just use your eye test. Forget the odds. And if you don't know how to read a form, don't worry about it. Just go to the paddock. Spend all your time at the paddock and then pick your horse to win each race from the paddock. I do that with my friends who don't know anything about horse racing, and they are very successful. All right, let's bring in our Friday guest. Man, do I love hammering this baseball card with them. If you want to party with this man, you've got to come to Miami, the Diplomat Beach Resort, one of the stars of the Betting with the Bag week at the Diplomat Beach Resort in Miami. Joining us right now to break this MLB card, please welcome to the show, Donnie Rightside. Donnie, how you doing today?
Doing good, man. So happy to be here again, once again on a Friday, Jimmy. You know what? I get to kind of laugh at that, party down in Miami. Look, I'll be raging from about, 7 a.m. in the morning to about 7 p.m. at night. So if you guys want to, turn in early with me, it's all good.
I don't believe that. This man will be smoking cigars down by the beach, and we will be right beside him, drink in hand. Donnie Rightside, we have a lot of games. That's why I love having you on these Fridays, because it's a tough week. You've been capping all week, and here we go Friday with a giant card. I love having you lead the way, and I also love not knowing where you're going to go. So it's a very interesting and exciting for me as well. Donnie Rightside, take it away. First game on the docket.
You know what? Let's take a look at this because I'm going to go over a couple. We've had some pretty good success here with team totals, and we'll stick to that same script. But any other games come up, Jimmy, be more than happy to talk about with, sidewise. Let's take a look at this first game. And no better surprise here, right? I'm going to go to the Atlanta Braves and the Philadelphia Phillies. Now, being the homer in me, maybe rooting for the Philadelphia Phillies, yes. But, money is money, as we always like to say. And sometimes you got to take that rooting interest a little bit out here. We're going to take a look at the Atlanta Braves in this one, Jimmy. We're going to take a look at the team total for the Braves. Most recently, taking a look at FanDuel Sports here in New Jersey. Team total for the Atlanta Braves, Jimmy, sitting at 5, minus 110. It's actually come down a little bit. Now, here's the interesting part that we're going to take a look at. Jake Arrieta's last 2 starts have been pretty good. But we have to keep in mind the loose bodies is in his elbow, probably going to get surgery at the end of the season. How long is he going to go in this game, Jimmy? Probably 5, maybe 6 innings if he's really on fire with the lower end pitch count. And I hear the one concept that keeps coming out, which is actually decent. Phillies bullpen, I believe it's, Jimmy, 17 innings where they haven't given up a run, which is amazing. But put that stuff in perspective here. We're talking about a single-A lineup that they faced with the Detroit Tigers. And before that, the Pittsburgh Pirates, where we know the struggles that they sometimes have. So if I'm going to look at a team total in this game, I want a couple advantages to be my way. That's going to be Jake Arrieta on the mound, possibly going a short distance and leading up to the Phillies bullpen. Also, I want to take a look at the advantages that I might have. Looking at the Atlanta Braves lineup tonight, Jimmy, 7 left-handed batters in the lineup. Why does that translate tonight? Well, Jake Arrieta on the season's weighted on base average versus left-handed batters is at 393. Now, it does improve with its home starts here at Citizens Bank Ballpark down to about a 329, but it's still a 274 average. I'm going to take these bats because you could say whatever you want about that bullpen, Jimmy. I'm going to lean on the Atlanta bats being a little bit different category than the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Detroit Tigers. Over 5 and one for me, team total Atlanta.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's 5.5 juiced right now at Pinnacle. I'm going to see what it is at Bet365. Here are the lineups. Atlanta: Acuna, Albies, Freeman, Donaldson, Markakis, McCann, Camargo, Enciarte. So it's a nice lineup, except you don't have Dansby Swanson at short. Camargo, but still a very hard-hitting lineup. Then for the Phillies, Kingery, Segura, Harper, Hoskins, Realmuto, Hernandez, Franco, Hazley. This game has made me uncomfortable, and I think you've probably found an angle that I could believe in. Because I think Arrieta is almost always overvalued, especially now that he's sharper for some reason with these bone spurs, but only going 5. And then Soroka, I believe, is regressing back to the mean. He's a 21-year-old kid from Calgary, and this is a marathon baseball season. This is around the time these youngsters start creating a bump in the road, and that's what's happening here. I like that. I'm going to take a look at what it is at Bet365, but I like that first look, Donnie. What's next on the docket?
Yeah, take a look at the docket. We're going to stay on the East Coast here, Jim. We're going to talk a little bit of Los Angeles Dodgers versus those Washington Nationals. Now, typically, when we take a look at the Nationals, I like to auto fire when the Nationals face a left-handed pitcher. But the factor is, look, all left-handed pitchers, Jimmy, aren't created the same. And Hyun-Jin Ryu has been absolutely sensational this year for the Los Angeles Dodgers. But he is coming east here. The angle I'm going to take a look at, which is never a bad angle, it's the Los Angeles Dodgers. When you want to go against the Dodgers, maybe a power pitcher, 97, 98 mile an hour fastball to try to blow up by those bats, that's not where you're going to get tonight here out of Anibal Sanchez. More of a crafty pitcher, 83, trying to hit his corners. If he doesn't hit his corners, he's going to be in trouble. But what do we like about this game? We know the Dodgers can bring the heavy artillery from the left-hand side. Tonight's bats, lefty, 5 of those out of an 8 total eligible batters in the National League ballpark. 364 weighted on base average for Anibal Sanchez at home versus left-handed batters. That's going to come up big in those 5. I think we're going to be able to get this one 5.5 because also let's lean on that bad Nationals bullpen. Give me those Dodger bats versus an underpowering pitcher for a full 9 innings and then get a bad bullpen on top of it. And hey, maybe we'll get Fernando Rodney in the game this year. I think the Dodgers are going to put up some runs down in Washington tonight, Jimmy.
I love it. I like the breakdown. We have a Nationals team that smashes lefties, but have terrible, terrible numbers against Ryu because, as Donnie said, he's not your everyday, he's not your average lefty. And then Sanchez, a pitcher who creates soft contact all the time, has been smashed by these Dodgers hitters, and not the Dodgers hitters that you need. The role players on this Dodgers team smash him the hardest, and we expect Bellinger to get out of this funk at any time, although Bellinger doesn't have very good numbers against Sanchez. I took a bit of a different route, but it correlates with Donnie. I'm on Dodgers first 5 -0.5 at -125, in the full game -1. That was a money line -155 and a +100. Donnie, I decided to take a heavily juiced route with your Braves team total over at Bet365, which is a book I make my action at. I'm getting the team total over 4.5. Now, it's heavily juiced at -140, but I expect it to happen. And I sat all year beside Pete Loshak last year in the baseball season, and he was taking these team totals. Now, I heavily juiced and cashing at a very high percentage. And I started losing some of these team total overs, and I got away from them. But to me, Arrieta, the whole breakdown, I'm taking it. I'm on the Braves team total over 4.5, and I'm on the Dodgers first half and full game. All right, I love this stuff, Donnie. I love the pace. What's next?
Yeah, let's go real quick here. Now, this is going to seem a little bit easier, and sometimes, I like to find the bottom feeder type teams like last night cashing in with the Baltimore Orioles on the West Coast. Now, keep in mind, I haven't been able to cap effectively these late night games because we've been waiting all day for a pitcher for the Los Angeles Angels. Maybe we'll get into it a little bit later, but I do think the Baltimore Orioles are alive again on the team total line as they were last night. But let's take a look on the East Coast here. Let's get back to, it's almost time where you just say, when these two teams match up, you almost want to take the over, but I'm not actually going to take the over in this game. I'm going to take a team total as opposed to the game total in this one. We're going to lean right on those New York Yankees at 5.5. It's a little bit juiced, -120, but there's a lot to like in this ball game. When we take a look at the New York Yankees, they got thrashed last night. What, 19-3? You figured they would have hit the team total last night, but the Boston Red Sox actually came in and climbed over them. Tonight, it's going to be a completely different story. When we just look at Andrew Cashner on the mound, it's hard. You know me, Jimmy. I like to take a look at home and away splits, but obviously Cashner doesn't really have those since he changed team from the Baltimore Orioles over to the Boston Red Sox. But also keep in mind, going from a hitter's park down in Baltimore or down at Camden Yards all the way up to Fenway doesn't really change too much things. He had one start here at home, gave up 5 earned runs. I don't see what the difference is going to be tonight. Now, let's take a look at some splits. Even though we don't have those home and away splits, we can still take a look at some righty-lefty splits. Yankees come into tonight hot and also with those right-handed bats. What's the Cashner get lit up by, Jimmy? Right-handed bats. 363 weighted on base average on the season. And then, as we said again, 5 innings, 5 earned runs, and it's only started as the home pitcher for Boston. You're going to get a full 9 innings of these Yankee bats in a bandbox ballpark, loaded up with 7 right-handed bats in the lineup tonight. Yankees are getting 6 or more tonight, Jimmy. This should be an easy one for us.
It should be. I don't know why I've had this fear about taking an over in this game, but I've had it. I've had it, and I cashed on it yesterday. Cashed on the over. I cashed on the Twins-Yankees over. I kept going back to the well, and it's something I don't like doing, going back to the well. And then the market has scared me here, Donnie. It truly has. In the morning show, only one book was hanging the 11, and it was Pinnacle. And I was like, man, that's, God, I hate when Pinnacle's leading to the 11. Everyone else is 11.5. And now we come back to the late show, and they're all no, they're not all, but Bet Online, Bookmaker, and Pinnacle, of course, Heritage, they're all at 11, and the other books are at 11.5. And then you have to focus on who do you think will get touched the most. I know Cashner has bad numbers against the Yankees. Cashner has bad numbers against the Red Sox. Maybe this is just a simple move. Kobe Valentine says Yanks are the play. Maybe it's a simple move. Paxton's not looked good in the last little bit. I don't know whether to trust Paxton, but you have to think the Red Sox might have milked a little bit too much out of their offense in this last game. Cashner 0-2, 6.19 ERA, 3 starts against the Yankees this year. Lifetime, he has fine numbers against New York, but who cares? Let's focus on this year. Paxton had a great start and has great numbers against the Red Sox, but that was earlier in the season. He's given up 20 earned runs in his last 44 innings. So let me ask you this. So is your fear of Paxton, or not fear, but watching him the last 44 innings with a 5.52 ERA, is that why you don't want to back the Yankees and want to solely focus on the Yankees team total?
Exactly. When we take, sometimes, you try to look just at the statistics, and Paxton hasn't been that good. But when we talk about pedigree pitchers, Jimmy, you can see Paxton reaching back because going maybe 5 to 6 innings, 1, maybe 2 earned run this one and handing it over to the bullpen. If that happens the reverse side, meaning, Cashner goes out 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run against the Yankees, I'll just tip my cap and move on at this point. But sometimes you get a pedigree pitcher where you say, you know what, he can maybe reach back and shut this one team down. I don't see any way Cashner's going to reach out there, Jimmy, and shut down the Yankees. I just feel a little bit more comfortable saying, you know what? Give me my 9 at bats versus Cashner. See what we do with them early on. Maybe tackle on a few against the bullpen and see what happens.
Over 5.5 at -129 here at Pinnacle. 80 Fahrenheit, 8 miles per hour, sideways, but sideways out to left field. Let's see what Bet365 is doing with this team total over. So we have a 5.5 at -129 at Pinnacle, and here with the Yankees game at Bet365. We have a team total of 5.5 at -130. Basically the same stuff. Yeah, I'm in. Okay. Yankees team total over 5. Oh, wait, let's just quickly look at the lineups. I know I already said I'm in, so I will be in, but let's just quickly look at the lineups. For the Yankees, LeMahieu, Judge, Encarnacion, Gregorius, Voit, Torres, Maben, Tauchman, Romine. God. Maben, Tauchman, Romine. I mean, I know that Gary Sanchez was doing nothing. So now we have Maben in left field. For the Red Sox, Betts, Devers, Bogarts, Martinez, Vasquez, Benintendi, Travis, Chavez, Bradley Jr. I do think Cashner could get a touch. I will take this. I will take the over 5.5 at -129 for the Yankees. I am tailing another play of Donnie Right-Sides. Okay, Donnie, what's next?
Yeah, real quick on this one. Not a lot of love until still got to go over a couple things in this game, but taking a look at that Cleveland Indians, Kansas City Royals. Yesterday was one of the one losses I had yesterday. Over 4.5 with the team total of the Kansas City Royals. 0 for 9 runners in scoring position, Jimmy. Left 14 runners on base, including bases loaded, nobody out in the bottom of the 14th inning. Cleveland ends up pulling that one out. If we go back to this one, I actually like Cleveland in this game, but maybe a sneaky team total also could be on Kansas City. Let's not forget, both of the pitchers last night, Fluco goes 5 1/3, and Montgomery goes 5 innings. That was a lot of bullpen work. The one thing good, if you're looking at the bullpen from the Kansas City side, Ian Kennedy didn't get used last night. Their closer, he'll be available. But when we take a look at the Indians last night, Jimmy, I mean, you had Simber pitch, Whitgren, Hand, and Goody. Keep in mind, Hand, the closer on the team, threw 34 pitches last night. He's probably not going to be available tonight. And also, Nick Goody went 2 innings last night. He might not be available. So when you're looking at longevity and maybe not getting the best guys out of the bullpen, if we take a look and just isolate Cleveland, team total on this is 5, which they have a tendency to hit right around that 5 to 6 to 4 range. So they're going to be on it regardless. But when we take a look at the matchup with the pitcher on the mound, 348 is Junis to left-handed batters, which, as we know, one of my favorite teams to bet is the Cleveland Indians because they got a lot of switch hitters. They're going to roll 7 left-handed batters deep tonight. And if we take a look at home starts for Junis at 342, weighted on base average to lefties, it just matches up well. When you take those games that go elongated last night, maybe your full bullpen complement is not there. I think they'll be able to hit. I think the Indians should be able to get over 5, but also maybe a sneaky team total at 4 or so, I believe the Kansas City Royals are. But I think this game's going to go over for the game itself, but I'm more comfortable taking those 9 at-bats against a average starting pitcher and get after a weakened bullpen tonight.
I love it. I absolutely love that breakdown. I'm already on the over 9.5. I got it at minus 105. I would love to see what it's at right now. I got it at minus 105. Let me just pull it up here. I'm also on the Indians, and I hear, Russell Gordy says, take Royals full game. We have Junis, who's pitching spectacularly well, but birth of a son a couple days ago, just got off that paternity list, and then he already has 2 4-year-old twins. That's not easy. I know when you're rich, you can pay for help, but that's not easy. I'm expecting him to be tired, and we saw that same thing unfold in Oakland last night. And I think with 2 tired bullpens, Indians have the best bullpen possibly in the league. You want to back their bullpen over the Royals bullpen, 2 tired bullpens. I'm all over it. So I'm on the Indians full game. I got over 9.5 at minus 105, and man, I could get a better line right now. Minus 102 at Pinnacle, minus 102 at 5 times. I don't like seeing that. And Russell Gordy says Royals sneaky dog and under. That is concerning. Donnie, I don't have you for much longer. And I remember you talking just off the very top about this situation in L.A. with Tropiano starting against the Orioles. And it's going to be very, very hot in L.A. Let me get to it. We just found out that Tropiano's starting, so we didn't get a chance to cap that at all. Where is it? Sorry.
That's the original starter that we thought was going to be in the game, but it wasn't really confirmed. So I still don't have the starting lineups for either team out hitting-wise. But as we know, what a crazy game last night, Jimmy. You had center fielders come in to close the game out. You want to talk about guys, again, we talked about Cleveland and Kansas City with some strained bullpens. That's exactly what happened again last night. I'm not going to sleep on the Orioles tonight. Just looking at it right now, I don't even have the team total up, but I'm really interested in the Orioles team total tonight again, Jimmy.
Yeah, and I was on the over 10 last night. It was, it felt like an easy catcher. Trout, 11 home runs in his past 15. Wachowski, here's a guy who's coming off the best start of his lifetime. And now, I believe in Wachowski. That's why I like your idea of focusing on the Orioles. I believe in these 30-year-old journeymen who've worked so hard, 8 different organizations, and finally get that chance and know that I'm on a bad baseball team, and that's why I'm being given this opportunity, and I'm going to take it for what it's worth. And I like Asher Wojciechowski. Let's talk about Tropiano quickly and get an idea of what we think of him. Nick Tropiano, 28 years old. Man, drafted back in 2011, 5th round pick. This year, 8.31 ERA, just 8 2/3 innings, coming back from injury. The guy's not look good. So let's take a look at so we have a very small sample size. Hard to make a decision about that. Last year, we have a bigger sample size, 4.74 ERA, 1.30 whip. This year, in just the 8 2/3, he has a 1.731 whip and a 10.49 FIP. Let's see what he's done in the minors this year. In the minors, here we go, a 7.66 ERA. He looked terrible. 49 1/3. The sample size is there. I completely understand why you're liking this Orioles team total, and it's just not up on the board yet. Orioles team total, or even the Orioles. Even just the Orioles straight up seem like a play. Are you a believer in a guy like Wojciechowski, a 30-year-old journeyman? Or do you think, here we go, team totals are up actually, sorry. Or do you think that a 30-year-old journeyman coming off the start of his life is going to regress?
Here's the problem that I have with Wojciechowski tonight, Jimmy. Or excuse me, the problem that I have with going and say, you know what, the Angels are probably just going to come out and wreck this team, which they possibly could do that. When you take a look at Wojciechowski's statistics, Jimmy, he gets crushed by left-handed batters. 395 weighted on base average, 325 ISO, but really does well against righties. And then we take a look at the estimated lineup tonight. Only lefties in there, Jimmy. Ohtani, Calhoun, and Rengifo. The rest are right-handed. He might hang in this one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it's a good point. And we don't have team totals up yet. Let's just quickly look here at what's gone on in the time that Tropiano's been announced. With the time that Tropiano's been announced, a 3-cent move towards the Orioles. This is at 10. This is going to take a little bit more work right now. But if I gave you a free $500 play or a free $100 play, what would be your one play on this Orioles-Angels game?
I would take the over, Jimmy. It's 10 right now, so you can figure 5 on each side. We're talking about pitchers that possibly could get rocked in this game, tired bullpens coming in. And, Jimmy, what do we love about the West Coast there? We usually don't get chances. Like, if we're going to get hot weather in Los Angeles, sometimes you got to take advantage of that. Ball should fly.
And 8 miles per hour out to straightaway center.
There we go.
I am in. Again, I don't like going right back to the well on something that cashes easily the night before, but I'm going to do it here. Over 10 at minus 110. That's available at Heritage. This is a late addition to my card. Over 10 at minus 110. Available at Heritage. Donnie, what a treat it is to have you every Friday. And man, I can't wait to be standing right beside you in Miami for the week. Donnie's going to be there all week. And we have some people, a lot of people are coming late in the week, but we do have some guys like Cranky Ricky, like Ricky March, great stand-up comedian out of Chicago, who will be partying with us in the early week. Donnie Rightside, thank you so much for joining us, my guy Donnie. Where can we find you on Twitter? What shows you got coming up?
Yep, always at Rightside VP there on Twitter, still doing the show every day, 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock Eastern on the radio, WCKG radio. Also, it's been nice for me to actually last 2.5 weeks, Jimmy. Haven't had to shoot or punch up any scripts for that betting show. But hey, football season is here. Me and Ted are going to get it rolling again Monday morning. So we're going to crank it up, and it's going to be a lot of fun to do those shows live down in Miami, meet up with everybody. Because the one thing, Jimmy, that we can agree with, whether it be the IFBCs or we meet up for the Super Bowl, it's just fun to hang out because generally everybody is that same pace. You want to get some beers, you want to get some cocktails, whatever you like to smoke, hey, it's all going to be there, and we're going to have a really good time down in South Florida, so hopefully everybody can join. If you can't join, good part is, Jimmy, we broadcast everything. It's going to be so much stuff we're going to do on social media, so much time to hang out. You'll get to see, it's like, oh, is that what that person looks like? So we'll have a really good time down in Miami, Jimmy. I'm really looking forward to it, man.
So am I. The smoke thing, whatever you smoke, it's going to be there. That's so funny.
Yes.
There's our guy, Donnie Rightside. What a great, great guy. He will be in Miami. And if you haven't had the chance to hang out with Donnie, it's incredibly fun. So please come down and join us. Thank you so much for joining us, Donnie. Enjoy your weekend, my friend.
Amen, Jimmy. You too. Say hello to the family for me. Take care, buddy.
I will for sure. There he is, Donnie Rightside. Okay. Hawko Schofield says, please review picks. We will do that right now. But first, while I'm going to get my shit together and see if I'm going to move forward on any leans right before Al Mack joins us, can we please roll, first off, the Hunter Engelhardt play of the day video? I'd love to hear what Hunter's on. And can you help with my volume over here as well, Larry, so I can hear that? Hunter Engelhardt, play of the day video, next up.
Jimmy, my man, low baggers, Hunter Engelhardt here, giving you guys another play of the day. Follow me on Twitter there at the bottom of the screen at the Engelhardt. Play of the day for Friday. It's currently Thursday night for me right now. Play of the day is going to be Yankees run line plus 115. I found that at William Hill. We got Cashner against Paxton. Yankees got absolutely raped last night against the Red Sox previously. But you got to remember that Boston team played a day game yesterday, so they had a nice easy flight from Tampa back up to Boston. Yankees were dealing with Twins in that home run derby of a series. Took them late to get back. They probably didn't get back till 3 a.m. in the morning. Had to wake up, play again today. That lineup was exhausted. We got Cashner against Paxton tomorrow. Cashner's been god-awful, 7.36 ERA, 1.64 whip. His ERA against the Yankees is 6.19. He faced them three times. He has 8 walks in that. So he is deathly afraid of this Yankees lineup. Righties are hitting 276 against him. That's where a majority of the power is coming from, except for LeMahieu, obviously. OPS of 842 against righties, Cashner has. No one's on. Hitters are hitting 253 against them. When runners get in scoring position, that jumps all the way up to 270. The 7 through 9 hitters in this Yankees lineup are all hitting over 300 lifetime against Cashner. This dude is just going to get absolutely ass-fucked tomorrow. It's going to be an absolute disaster. There's going to be 9 runs, I think, in this first 5 innings. We got the wind blowing 7 to 8 miles per hour up to the monster, and I think that Cashner just has no chance against this lineup. On the other hand, we got Paxton, the lefty, going for Boston, 4.2 ERA, 4 earned runs off Colorado his last start. He needs a bounce-back game. He pitched against Boston earlier in the year, given it was in April. Boston, who was a really, really struggling team, but he still pitched 8 scoreless innings, had 12 Ks. Boston's actually worse against hitting left-handed pitching than they are right-handed pitching. They only have 145 runs scored off left-handed pitching this year. That's 10th or 11th in the MLB. They're actually a lot better against right-handed pitchers. They have 437 runs. They're ranked second in the league against righties. But guess who's ranked first in the league against right-handed pitchers? Yes, the New York Yankees have 470 runs scored off right-hand pitcher. And one last thing to note before I get off here is after a loss, the Yankees are 23-12, 66% to the run line after a loss. So, Jimmy, thanks for having me. Good luck on your plays today. Low baggers, good luck.
There is our guy, Hunter Engelhart, 2-0 on Play of the Day videos. Our guy, Hunter Engelhart, 2-0, going for it 3-0 right now. Just before we bring in Al Mack to go over an assortment of different things, first I'm going to go over all my MLB picks and talk about some of the Play of the Days, and then we're going to be joined by Al Mack to break down a series of different things. MLB and CFL is what we're going to be focusing on the most. There, Hunter Engelhart. And now, please welcome to the show a Play of the Day video from our own. And if you want to party with this guy, you got to come down to Miami, Mr. Fat Fist.
What's up, Jimmy? What's up, baggers? Mr. Fat Fist is back, ready to attack UFC Alberta, Canada. Long layoff, I'm sorry. Them sleuths, they've been keeping me busy. Nah, realistically, I got a new job, having to work a little bit of extra hours, and got shit straight now. Back on the grind. First up, we got Max Holloway, Cyborg, parlayed at Sportsnet. You're going to get Max at minus 341. You're going to get Cyborg at minus 624. That's going to bring you just under minus 200, right on the minus 199 range. And, I mean, that's more than playable. Both those fighters are not losing that fight whatsoever, unless a banana peel is thrown on that cage and literally they slip on it. That being said, I also like Max Holloway inside the distance at 5 dimes at minus 135. Those odds are completely ridiculous. It should be a lot higher than that. I'm jumping all over that like white on rice. It's like stank on shit. You better believe it. So jump on that as well. I'm also waiting for the Cyborg props to drop. Some have, some haven't. I'm waiting for that Cyborg by TKO. I want to take it in the first round. I think Jay at the Sports Kegcast is as well. It's a good bet. But I'm going to take her to win by KO, just, regular. I just got to wait for those odds to drop. I also like Gavin Tucker. You can get him at minus 11 at BetDSI. He's got a 2-year layoff, but he's the much better fighter in this fight. Choi's got nothing for him. As long as that knockout by, or that beating, I should say, by Rick Glenn didn't affect Gavin Tucker's head, that 2-year layoff should be perfect for him. He's probably improved leaps and bounds from then, so I'm on Gavin Tucker as well at minus 111 at BetDSI, and that's about it. I want to thank you, Jimmy, having me on. All the baggers watching right now, I appreciate the support. I'm in that chat every single night, every morning, and that being said, as a wise man once said, as a wise guy once said, let's leche those bookmakers.
It's our guy, Mr. Fat Fist, Play of the Day. Teamwork is how you defeat the juice. And we are very thankful to have Mr. Fat Fist on our team again. You want to party with him, you come down to Miami. Our guy, NoseGuard1208, said, put the link up for the 50K contest or where to find it, here is the link. $50,000 up for grabs. Free to enter our NFL contest this year at Sportsbook Review. Right there, free to enter, and $50K up for grabs. All right, so my guy Al Mack joining us right now. He's going to be talking first about his baseball action. I want to quickly go over my baseball action for everybody who has asked, because we've got, it's been a very hectic, wild show. Dodgers first 5 minus a half, a minus 125. Full game -1. That's a minus 155 and plus 100. Braves team total over 4.5, a minus 140. That was a late addition. I'm off Rays Jays. That market movement towards the Jays and not having Kiermaier and things like that of that nature got me off of the Rays. Yankees team total over 5.5, minus 129. That is another Donnie Rightside edition. Then I was interested in the first 5 under with Pirates Mets, but who knows how Wheeler's going to handle this situation. I'm going to take that lean off. Then Diamondbacks first 5 minus half, minus 125, and team total over 4.5 at minus 102. Then Cubs Brewers first 5 under 5 at plus 101. I had a lean towards the White Sox and a lean towards the Twins. Lean towards the White Sox and lean towards the over in the Twins White Sox. Maybe I'll ask Al about that spot. Then Indians Royals, I'm on the over 9.5, minus 105, and the Indians at minus 120. I've stayed clear of Astros Cardinals. I find that difficult. I added on the over 10 Orioles Angels, and I'm on the first 5 under 5 at minus 115, and Rangers A's. I'm on the Giants at plus 131, and sadly yesterday I made the over 8 bet at minus 120 on Giants Padres, and I have no play on the Tigers Mariners. Please welcome to the show a man who made his debut last Friday and went 6-5 plus 3.48 units with his picks. Very, very impressive start to betting with the bag glory for your next guest, Al Mack, representing Toronto, Ontario. How you doing on this Friday evening, Al?
What's up, guys? Doing great. How you guys doing?
We are doing good, man. We have a packed card here, so let's get right into it. I am going to ask you about the Rockies-Reds. I'm also going to ask you about this spot, Twins-White Sox. So I'm just giving you a heads up. No worries if you haven't capped those games too much, but I'm going to ask you about those because those are some leans I got to decide on. But first, what is your play on this MLB card for the low baggers?
To start it off, I like Cashner here. I guess I'm on my own with this one. Cashner is, he was on the Orioles for quite a while. His teams, when he have gone 11-8 plus 10.19 units so far in 2019. So in 19 starts, that's an ROI of plus 1.34% per wager. So if you've bet $100 on every game that Cashner started, you've profited $54, whether you've won or lost. Okay, so that record is very indicative of him being a starter with the Orioles. But you got Paxton on the mound for the Yankees. The Yankees they're a profitable team on the road, but I don't believe in Paxton. I believe in Cashman. He's used to being an underdog. He's the most profitable pitcher in the MLB to back. He's also the most profitable pitcher to back on the first 5. I'm backing him on both.
Red Sox full game and first 5?
Yep.
Wow, Al backing Cashman. If I had a free play to make on the side, I would probably lean towards the Red Sox, but I have faith in the Yankees touching him for something. And Paxton has that ability to either be great or terrible. You never know, especially lately, what he's going to do. I could understand you backing it. So Al, coming off a big Friday last Friday in his debut here live on the show, is on the Red Sox money line and the Red Sox full game. But Elio saying Cashner bamboozled the Red Sox into thinking he can help them. And Hako Schofield says, wow, fade Cashner today. But Lance LaRose says balls. Balls are an important thing to have. So that's Al Mack's MLB play. He's back in the Red Sox first 5 full game. Al, I want to talk about this Herman Marquez, Luis Castillo, and I guess I'm leaning towards just staying off of it. I have enough action on this card today, and there's got to be a reason why I've stayed off of it. Oh, Alex Ramirez, play of the day. Spidey, play of the day. Angels minus 1F, and Mariners run line. Interesting. Spidey play the Angels -1 have the Mariners run line. I'm not taking another look at that. I just don't trust Kikuchi. But here with this Castillo start, there's been quite a big move in the last 45 minutes to an hour on the Reds. It was -133, -131 a little over an hour ago. Now it's back to the -140s. Castillo, first 5 here is a -140. I need them to be winning after 5, and I'm just hesitant to make a move. Do you have any lean on this Marquez Castillo spot?
I would probably lean to Castillo just because I remember at a time he was one of the most profitable pitchers on the first 5 line. But besides that, I hadn't really touched. I only looked at really the Red Sox and the Braves today, to be honest. I'm also on the Braves.
Also on the Braves. Well, I jumped on that. You know what? I'm going to stay off of it. I mean, the needing after Rockies probably feel good about themselves for the first time in a long time. Marquez is capable of having a good start on the road, although we don't see it often. And then, and this is all for me, Al. All for me. I took off the Agrizal Wheeler first 5 under here. First 5 under in the Pirates Mets game. And there's been no movement on it. No need to force a play that I find questionable. And then I think there was one more lean. Yes, the White Sox, Twins. There's been this huge move towards the Twins, and maybe I should just stay out of the way. But at this point, Pineda is not pitching incredibly well. He's pitching sort of poorly. And Cease is capable of a big start. I know these bats are dangerous. You know what? Maybe I should just not get in the way of a 30-cent line move. But we're talking about an underdog, and with underdogs, when this huge move goes against them, I do find it a bit appealing. And I find this appealing here. I find the Twins, White Sox, and the full game over. What do you think of Pineda or Cease? I mean, do you think the Twins bats are so dangerous that you shouldn't get in front of them?
I would probably back the Twins here. I just don't like that price. Pineda in 19 starts is profitable at 1.57 units. I'm pretty sure, the Twins are way more profitable on the road than the White Sox are at home. I just don't like that price. Like if you maybe wanted to throw that into a parlay, there's value on the Twins, but I wouldn't play that solo.
Yeah, and then what about the total? We've had Lance LaRose come in and Tomarino come in interested in the over. What do you think about that spot? Because if Pineda gets touched a bit, you have to think the Twins will get theirs. If I gave you a free play, would it be on the over?
Well, yeah, absolutely. A free play 100%. With these two teams, Minnesota could probably go on the over by themselves with the way that they're going right now. I don't know what the heat is like in Chicago, but the Twins are good for the over almost every night right now.
Fahrenheit 11 Twins being trash. I think Pineda gets touched. Is Cease possible having a great start? That's the only thing that's holding me back. But I think this 10 is vulnerable. I'm going to jump on it. Over 10, Twins, White Sox, over 10. And I'm getting -110 at Pinnacle and 5 dimes. Over 10 at -110. I'm backing that. I like that play. Okay, that's my final edition on this MLB card. Thank you for those answers. Okay, let's get into CFL right now. We're going to start with the game tonight. I've yet to make a move on it. My record is not looking good. Larry, could you pop up my CFL record? Just so, transparency, accountability, all that good stuff. It's not good. I started the season out 6-2, and now I'm embarrassed to say that I am 7-8. Here we go. Bombers, Ticats. They enter Friday, top of their respective divisions, combined record of 9-1. Only 5 times since 1958 have 2 teams who've played at least 5 games matched up in the CFL with only 1 combined loss. They're very similar statistically. Hamilton, most points per game. Winnipeg, second. Bombers, fewest points allowed. Hamilton, second. The blue and gold, the Bombers are getting Big Hill back in the lineup. And when they first lost Big Hill, I thought that would hurt them. And they didn't skip a beat. Most outstanding defensive player of the year hasn't been in action in week 3. And this Bombers team just keeps rolling. Big Hill going to be back. Now, Hamilton is without Earlington. They're starting running back. The 3 backs on the depth chart after Earlington, Irons, Coombs, and Bennett have 35 carries between them this year. the Bombers have not done a lot to be undefeated. Nichols is not throwing over 300 yards. They've been playing without Big Hill. That's how much better than they are in the rest of the league. And I'm still sitting here without a Bombers to win the Grey Cup ticket, which I'm embarrassed about. Hamilton getting a big boost on their offensive line. Tackle Chris Van Zyl is going to be back in it. And they have very good pass protection when he's in the lineup. They've allowed 7 sacks over their first 5 games. But when Van Zyl was out of the lineup, Masoli got sacked 4 times. Do the math. When he's in the lineup, they are very, very good at pass protection. Here we go. Al Mack, Winnipeg, Hamilton. What's your move?
Yeah, first of all, like what you said, these two teams are the top of the class of the CFL. Coming into doing my power ratings into the week, I had Calgary above both of them, but I've thrown that out the window after what happened last night. So I would say Winnipeg is the top class on my power rating, about 5.5 points better than the average CFL team. And then Hamilton just behind them at 4.9 points. The line is probably exactly right. But I just think that based on what I've seen happen in the CFL, that you got to back the Ticats here. Winnipeg hasn't trailed in 4 straight games. They've only trailed in a total of 9.5 minutes this season. So they're not really used to being tested so far. You're getting 2.5 points, so it makes sense. But I like the Ticats. This is a really close one. There's not much separating these two teams. I think the total is right on as well. But something I'll say is Matt Nichols is really by the book. He's everything that he does is like a scouted out play, something that they've practiced, something they've drilled. Masoli is not like that at all. He's a scrambler, and he is able to let plays develop later. And I think that that's really going to help Hamilton, especially with what you said about them getting their pass protection shored up for this one. I like Hamilton here.
It's funny because if you're doing this by an eye test, you have to think the Bombers are going to win this game. But historically, we just don't have teams run the table. And you look at where's your loss going to be, it's going to be in this type of situation. It's just going to be in this type of situation. Not applicable says Bombers will bomb them, sorry. What do you think about the Ticats defense, and are you making any move on the total?
I lean on the under. Probably before this game starts, I'm gonna probably make a smaller bet on the under. These two teams, I think it's gonna be a classic CFL game. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a 21-20 final or something. But either way, on that score, you're covering with +2.5.
Yeah, and the money line's going down. Money coming in on the Ticats fast. The best line you can get on the money line now, you won't believe this, is at 5 dimes at +115. Unbelievable. Bet online +105. Bookmaker at +101. Well, what does that tell you? That tells you the Ticats are going to be in. There's no 2.5s left. 2 is the biggest spread. Wow. Another pickle says my eye test. Okay. All right. Okay. Sorry. Thank God I stopped reading. Man, this is a tough spot. And before I was getting a +120 on the money line, and I am no longer. If you look at what Pinnacle's done with this money line, I mean, I guess it didn't get higher. Oh yeah, +120 and +119, and is now at +110. This is just the spot. Shadow says Masoli not on the same level as Nichols. I mean, Nichols just keeps doing just enough. Jay Scum on the Bombers -2 and would lean under. We just saw the Ticats struggle to put up points against the Stampeders defense that I don't think is that good. And this Ticats team knows that they can't let... I mean, look at the Ticats. I mean, Andrew Harris doesn't have a rushing touchdown and they're 6-0. I mean, it's just... Nichols doesn't have a 300-yard game and they're 6-0. I am going to now make a move on the under. And man, I want to be taking over so badly. And we have Brian Riley come in saying, take the over in today's game. Let's see what's going on in this total. I just don't feel confident enough to take a side here when I find value on both. Means I need to stay off. 53 is the total at Bovada, and I will be taking the under. Under 53, at minus 110. There's 52.5s on the board. Heritage hanging at 51.5, but I'll take the 53 at Bovada. And then our guy, Al Mack, lead us into the Rough Riders Lions game.
Just quickly on that, what you said with the under, I'm going to be riding unders all year in the CFL. They're 14-11 so far. And last year they finished 88-78. So it's a marginal profit. But if I can't handicap a total, I'm just going to blind bet like a quarter of a unit on the under every single game.
Certainly feels like there's been conservative play calling happening all year long. Sam Berhe liking Hamilton money line. Triggerman says easy play on the under. Not applicable says both unders today. Under tomorrow. I think there could be offense tomorrow, but I can't wait to hear your breakdown. Okay, I'm on the under 53 at minus 110. Bombers, Ticats. And let's move on to this Rough Riders Lions game. Both teams have yet to win. Rough Riders yet to win on the road. Lions yet to win at home. Two ugly starts for both these clubs. What's your call on Rough Riders Lions, Al?
Something that I remember that you taught me in the CFL is that it's incredibly hard to beat the same team twice. I remember I learned a valuable lesson on that last year, backing the Alouettes against Saskatchewan. What I really like here is the over. You look at these two teams, BC only, they average 21 points per game. Saskatchewan averages 27. But then you look at their points allowed, 59 points between the two of them, 32 for BC, 27 for Saskatchewan. A lot of people are thinking that this is going to tighten up based on what the shootout that we saw with BC. I don't think that's going to happen. I really like the over here. I like the team total for Saskatchewan over 26.5. I don't think Mike Riley, especially the offensive line for the Lions, has a lot of problems. Riley has no chance to make any play develop. They're just going to be making sure small plays, small yardage. I like Saskatchewan a lot in this spot.
I hear you, but I mean, if the Lions start 1-6, everybody's fired. Their first year with Buono gone, and everybody's fired. And I want to take the Lions. I really do, but I have a lot of trepidation doing it. And so I'm not just going to force a play on the Lions on the money line. But I do agree they're soft defenses. Riley's not getting protection, and he's still going to air it out. That's one thing that does concern me about taking the under tonight, is that in the Bombers-Ticats game, is if the Ticats can't run, which is expected, then they're going to be airing it out 40, 45 times with Masoli, and that makes me a little uncomfortable. But I'm going to jump with you on this over. I think there's going to be points tonight. I think that this trend of unders that's been happening heavy in the last 2 weeks will change here. There's a 52 on the board. I'm going to take over 52 at minus 105. That's available at Bookmaker. I'm on the over in the Rough Riders Lions game. Over, and I'm going with Al on this, over 52 at minus 105. Book it. Over 52 at minus 105. Al, I know that you had some things you want to talk about in boxing and UFC, and we have very little time, but if you wanted to talk for a very tight minute or two, take it away, my man.
I just want to talk about Jose Ramirez versus Maurice Hooker, welterweight unification fight that's happening on Saturday. This is a freaking gift. Jose Ramirez is a gift. He has an average line in his 8 fights that he's won that have had odds of minus 2,300, and you can get him at minus 150 in this fight. They're building up for him to fight Terrence Crawford in a super fight. If you just look at boxing, it's kind of like professional wrestling. If you can see where they're trying to go with these things, you can make a decent amount of coin. Ramirez at minus 150 is a freaking gift. I'm going to be on it large this weekend.
Wow, I like it. You hear that? Ramirez is a gift? Man, that is something I will be heavily interested in tomorrow. I love it, Al. Thank you so much for joining us, man. Great stuff. I love that you finish off these weeks by going through all the different sports. You're a huge asset to the team here at Betting with the Bag. Al, where can we find you on Twitter, and tell us a little bit about Spark Sports and what's going on there?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at SparkAlMac. That's my personal Twitter, but the best place to get my betting content is at Spark Sports Bets, and then sparksports.ca. It's just where I do a lot of my handicapping with me and some of my friends. We pretty much just show our work on everything, and we'll be pumping out stuff all year.
Beautiful. There he is putting a bow. Actually, he's not the one putting a bow. He's setting it up. Al, would you do me the great favor of, and then when this is all done, I'll go over all my plays once more. But Al, would you do me the tremendous favor of introducing Lucrative Larry?
Ladies and gentlemen, the best looking guy at SBR, Lucrative Larry.
Best looking guy. That's right.
Hey. Oh boy, fuck. Is this shit on?
Is it on?
I don't fucking know. Rob is the one who does this shit.
Yeah. What's up, man?
What is up? Man.
Look at you. Bringing out the JMO to put in the end of this.
That's yours,
and
man.
my backpack. Good, okay.
What the fuck is this
I
shit?
don't know, man.
Hey.
What's up, man?
Are you going to my Mexico?
No, I'm
Oh,
not.
man, you agree. You're going. Of course you're going.
Yeah?
I'm going to start with my play.
You gonna start with your
Get
play?
that shit out of the road.
Get that, okay, all right.
First, luck of the Mexicans. Irish people.
Don't just take a swig and not offer me one, man.
You want a swig?
Have some fucking respect. It's my bottle, homie.
Can I have another one?
No.
UFC 240. I'm hitting Frankie Edgar plus 300.
Frankie Edgar.
He's going to my Mexico.
Is he going to Mexico?
Of course he's going to
Oh,
Mexico.
he's going to get stabbed 44
Nah,
times.
he's not. By the way, I'm here to tell you we added a couple activities
All right. Oh, in Mexico.
in my Mexico.
Okay, sweet.
Miami.
I heard there's
Fuck Miami.
face painting and face tattooing.
Yes.
Okay. What
Yes.
else? What else?
We're gonna have gasoline chugging competitions.
Gasoline chugging.
Yeah.
Wow. And you're not using it to fill up another car. You're just straight up drinking it.
Do we gonna need cars? Fuck cars.
All right. Okay.
Gang battles, legally.
Excuse me?
Legally. Gang wars. We're getting gangs and we're gonna fight with them.
Yeah, no, I get it. Okay.
And drug muling
Drug muling
illegally.
illegally. Is
We're
that like
taking it.
is that like when you go from door to door and sing songs?
Oh, absolutely. That's not how it is. It's not how that is. Shit. Can I have another
Yeah,
swiggo?
Sure, yeah.
We're gonna do the chuck thing.
Sure.
Yeah, but with gasoline.
Oh, look at you, you fucking booze bag.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is how we end up in
And capping. We're gonna have some capping, by the way. Fuck this shit.
Oh, Russell Gore said, Jimmy, stay focused. 30 minutes of dead air. Okay.
You see my new shoes?
Yeah, they look like child's shoes. They look like if I was a. Do they have lights?
If they had lights,
Yeah.
I'd be in Hollywood right now.
Is that right?
Yes.
Is that right? Okay. Duran Lofton says, sorry, going to miss my Mexico. And he's going to miss the needle exchange. That is a very excited part of my Mexico. I only have 10 minutes before Mr. Fatfish says Larry smuggled drugs in the old keister. You know what the keister is?
The asshole?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm done it.
Brandon Lugo says I'm getting drunk just watching. Okay, all right. I want you to sing us out, but not yet. First, I want to break down all my plays here. Dodgers first 5 -1/2, full game -1. Braves team total over 4.5. That's a late addition, and that was at -140. Oh, it's juicy.
You know what I've always thought?
You can tell me in a second. Yankees team total over 5.5 and -129. Then I'm on Diamondbacks first 5 -1/2. Team total over 4.5 -102. I'm on Cubs Brewers first 5 under 5 at +101. I'm on Twins Sox over 10 at -110. I'm on Indians -120 and the over 9.5 in Indians Royals. And then I'm on the over 10 at -110 of Orioles Angels. Oh, and the first 5 under 5 at -115. Rangers Athletics. I like that play a lot. Giants. Oh God, this is a lot of plays, but it makes it exciting. Giants +131, and the over 8 at -120. That is my action. And in CFL, I'm on the under 53 at -110. And tomorrow, I'm on the over 52 in the Rough Riders Lions game.
We should call Freddie.
We should.
No, we shouldn't.
No, I'm not gonna bother. I'm gonna start drinking heavily. Larry,
I like when you say that.
before you put a bow on this, could you sing us a song, man? Sing us a song, a little outro music. Oh, you got one ready? You got one ready? All right, let's go.
Sometimes you're up. Sometimes you're down.
Sometimes you're down.
Sometimes you're up. Sometimes we're gonna drug mule. Fuck Miami. That's what I'm gonna say.
What the fuck did you just
No,
say?
I didn't say that. It was some other guy. It was my other personality.
Leche! Hey, those bookmakers!
I'm gonna close that shit because I'm the one who closes this shit. Do it again. Oh no, don't do it again. There.